We're going
Alright,
from history,
move on.
one facet of history being made in Canada to another.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Steve Rolls, I would bet the money in on my bank account that nobody watching this has ever heard of Steve Rolls unless they've seen our post on our page.
Exactly.
All right. He is fighting for middleweight.
Huh? Yes, the middleweight title.
It's not the title.
No title.
He is fighting for a chance potentially to fight for the middleweight title
Yes, sir.
against a dog, a veteran,
Easily the second
champion.
best middleweight right now in boxing.
the number 6 pound for pound fighter in the world, Gennady
Yes, sir.
Triple G Golovkin, Saturday MSG. All right. You're going to be there.
I'm gonna be there.
But before we get to how we see the fight playing out, tell us, who the fuck is Steve Rolls? I know him a little bit just from the work he does at a local gym. Just a 5-minute walk from my house where we're recording right now, and you talking about him. Tell us, where's Steve Rolls? Where did he come from? And how did he end up with this opportunity at 35 years old?
Listen, this guy's like he's flown under the radar. He is 19-0. His last fight was against you can't call him a journeyman, but he's fought a few title holders. His name was Keandre Leatherwood. Completely dominated this guy from round 1 to 10. And he's won the nationals twice for Canada. He's fought numerous tournaments in the States. He even moved down to the States to train and to try making his name out there.
That was years ago.
Huh? Yeah, it was in his amateur days. And he came back to Canada to try going over to the Olympics.
And then he did he win the Olympics?
He didn't. I don't think he.
No, I don't think he did.
He did the fights before you actually go to the Olympic Games. But I don't think he wanted to wait around for it because he was getting up there in age. So he knew let's go over to pro. And he did. He's made waves in pros. As much as you guys don't know who he is, he's still undefeated, which is
and he's got
in
10
boxing
KOs
is the biggest
10
thing.
KOs in 19 fights, professional fights.
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now, skill wise, this is a very competitive fight. As much as people want to be like, oh, it's just a tune-up fight for Triple G, this is an insanely competitive fight.
Well, that's what everybody's saying is that
this is no tune-up fight. I'm telling you that right now.
The idea out there amongst
the
boxing people, so this is a fluff fight for Triple G.
Yeah.
He lost to Alvarez.
Just because
he just wants
they don't know him.
an easy fight to get back out there, get a win.
But this is what I hate about
the rematch.
This is what I hate about boxing. Guys like Stephen A. Smith too. It's not at that point where UFC, there's no more, there's a few household names where people know. They were saying the same shit about Andy Ruiz. These guys are still
good quality competition.
There's top fighters. It's just because you don't know their name and you don't know who they fought or you haven't seen them on television or something. Don't count them out. These guys have worked their whole lives for these fights. This is as from what I know about Steve and his coach, we've been talking about this fight for probably 5-6 years now. Gennady Golovkin. When he first,
Come on.
I'm telling you, when he came over to the States to do his US debut and stuff, they always, because everyone saw it in him. Everyone knew Golovkin's a beast. He's gonna be a top middleweight. They've been talking about fighting him. They've always prepped for him. They've always talked about ways they think they can beat him. This is the fight that we've been talking about for 5 years. When I heard it was happening, I couldn't believe it. It was literally because I know this to Steve, this is a dream come
and
true.
you were like a child in a candy shop.
Bro, I was worse when my coach first told me. I was literally jumping around. I feel like it's great when you train with these guys. I feel anxious this week. Today is the worst because I feel like I'm especially when I get to the fight, it's gonna be even worse because I feel like I'm the one about to fight, even though I'm not. It's just because I know the work that this guy's put in, and I know how much this means. I know how much this means to him. I'm telling you, it's not about the dog in the fight. It's about the fight in the dog. And I'm telling you, this is gonna be a seriously competitive fight. This is not any kind of.
I saw Steve in an interview talking about how, a couple of years ago, maybe it was a year ago, he got to the point where he said, "All right, I know who I am. I know I'm a good fighter, but at some point, you got to get paid. Bill's got to get paid.
Yep.
So when's that gonna happen?" And he was thinking to himself, he's like, "I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this."
It's true. He just had a kid too.
Without getting the notoriety, right? And then he said, "I'm gonna beat Triple G, and this is gonna be the payday to change my life." I hope he gets
Andy
it.
Ruiz said it last week at the exact same venue. My life is changed now forever. And he told his mom was at the press conference, and he told his mom, it's you don't have to do anything anymore. just chill now for
Yeah.
like our lives are made now.
So tell us, what's your relationship like with Steve Rolls?
I've known him, I think, about 6 years. He's always, to me, aside from family and stuff, he's like one of my only role models. My coach told me this about 5 years ago.
I don't inspire you? Wow.
But my coach told me this about 5 years, because I always used to watch him train and just like kill dudes. But he's like, listen to me. He's like, look up to this guy. This guy, like,
he does it the right way,
it's the way he carries him. It's not just about boxing stuff. Like, of course, he can teach me in like countless things about in boxing, but it's just the way he carries himself. Even the way he's carried himself throughout this fight. All the shit talking people go on, like, soldiers, they go on his posts on his Instagram talking about, oh, I've never heard about this guy. Why are you going on his Instagram and talking shit then? They go on his posts, they start saying stuff, and I say it to him too, and I'm like, bro, like, how are you doing? He ignores it. He's like, literally, and he doesn't want any of us saying, because I used to argue with people and shit. I'd be up all night arguing with people online. He's like, just don't say anything. That's the best way to beat them. Don't say anything. Let the work talks for itself.
He's an inspiration away from the ring, is what you're getting at. His character and his heart
it's the way he carries himself.
Yeah, he's that type of guy.
I'm telling, and we've seen it in sports. Once you have a kid, your whole like
perspective changes.
That tunnel vision changes.
Kyle Lowry's talked about it. Fred VanVleet has talked about it,
and they've shown it.
I hope it works for Steve Rolls as well, right? So let's get down to the nitty gritty. It's the biggest fight in Canadian boxing history in 15 years.
Yes, and because Canadians actually finally going down to the States and fighting.
I know,
not
right?
Just keeping it up here.
And who's the guy you're mentioning that refused to go down there?
Donis Stevenson. Hey, God bless him, man.
God bless.
I'm just hoping he's okay. Yeah.
He had his first public appearance, I believe,
but
yesterday.
I always felt like the fault in his career was he never wanted to go down to the States and fight.
Yeah. So, what are the odds for Mr. Rolls to come away with his hand raised up in the air?
Golovkin, this guy ain't no joke, bro.
I know.
He has one loss on his record, and is that a loss? A lot of people don't think it's a loss.
Yeah.
That fight was closely competitive, and that's against the best in the world. That pound for pound, probably number one, who people talk about, in Canelo Alvarez. He's a dog, man. He's a fucking killer.
All right, you're beating around the bush here, bro. I know he's your boy. He's not
okay, listen.
Give me a percentage. What are the odds that he can come away with the victory?
This is all depends on. So Golovkin,
what's the X
his
factor?
whole career is trained with I can't fucking. Why am I? Abel Sanchez, his coach, fucking one of the best coaches in the game. Now, for this camp, there's some money issues between those two. He decided to leave Abel Sanchez, and he joined this other guy named Jonathan Banks, who was a heavyweight boxer. He didn't do too great. He's a better coach. Now, he's trying to change Golovkin completely. Golovkin was a guy who'd keep his hands up, walk forward, take shots, and give you harder ones. This guy's trying to make him implement foot movement, head movement, stuff.
It might be too much a style change.
Okay, that's fine. He thinks this is a tune-up fight.
Yeah, he does.
So a lot of people, if you're gonna do a style change, you do it in a tune-up fight. I'm telling you, this is not a tune-up fight.
You think he's gonna have an Anthony Joshua situation?
It could happen. It's very well could happen.
Now, Steve looks like a smaller guy. I know Triple G hits hard, right?
Yeah,
he can knock you.
He can knock you.
Have you ever sparred with Steve or seen him?
It's taking punishment.
Obviously, you're an amateur, but what does it feel like when he hits you, even 50% sparring?
Well, like, he's the top of the level that I've sparred with. So, like, I don't know what it feels like to get hit by, like, someone like Triple G. I'm sure it's devastating. But, like, it's a different pop, man. I'm telling you, like, I've been hit by, like, amateurs. I've been hit by other pros. And then, like, when you're in a fight, it doesn't hurt. Like, when you're sparring and stuff. Like, but his shots, it felt like I was getting, like, stabbed with a knife. Like, I would even tell my coach right after we finished, I'd be like, bro, even if he throws a jab to the body, like, it's so painful. Like, it hurts. Like, you're actually in the fight, you're like, what the fuck? Like, it hurts. I'm telling you, the first time I got into a ring with this guy dropped me to the body about 8 times.
To the body?
To the body. Every time he touched the body, I couldn't breathe.
So this is why you never went pro, eh?
This is he made me rethink my whole existence, man. I'm telling you. But like, it's a whole different level.
All right.
Oh
Who was calling you while we record?
Weirdly enough, his brother-in-law.
Steve Rolls' brother-in-law.
Yeah, he's calling me right now.
Answer it. Answer it. So you're talking about Steve right now.
He's never called me.
So answer. It could be important. Just answer it. Answer it.
I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna text him.
Wow. We could have asked him a quick question.
It might be.
We could ask him what's going on in New York right now. Come
Like,
on.
He's not in New York. He's probably at the gym right now.
Oh, is he involved with Olympia Boxing?
Yeah,
Where you guys train?
he's also a pro boxer. Trains out of
Let us know in the comments if he should have answered Steve Roll's brother-in-law's call.
Okay,
Who's never called Addis before in his life.
I talk to him every day, but
Yeah, but he's never called you.
Called
and we're
on
talking
the
about his
phone.
brother-in-law going down to MSU to kick ass, and this guy refused to answer the phone.
Regardless, I'm telling you. Okay, I know Triple G is one of the best. He's of course he's the favorite, and I can see it. But I'm like, just because I know him personally and I've seen him train, I've seen him put in the work. I'm telling you, he's a dog. This is not an easy fight. If you have your money set on Triple G, do not feel comfortable.
What do you say is Steve's bigger asset? His physical abilities or his mental toughness?
Sorry, I just gotta send that text. He just asked me what the locker combo is.
Oh my god. Any day now. So,
Okay, wait. So
Addis is leaving at 2 a.m. tonight and driving straight to New York.
Yeah, I am.
He doesn't know if he's going to let his girlfriend and her friend drive. He doesn't trust them.
Trust
He's going to
myself.
drive her car.
Well, honestly, I'm probably the worst driver out of the three.
What?
I've had the most accidents, bro. And that's facts.
Honestly, I've had accidents too. But for a while when I was in the whip with you when you got your license, I was holding on to the handles.
Wherever you want.
Still trust you to drive me places, but... All right. Do you even know the question I asked you?
What's his best asset?
What's a bigger asset to him? Would you say his physical attributes and that type of training, or his mental toughness and preparation?
So his mental toughness is already through the roof. This guy he thinks he's the best, and that's exactly what.
So do you think it's gonna be his game plan, or his physical fighting that's gonna win him the fight if he does?
So, from what we've seen from when the Golovkin's only lost against Canelo implemented so many body shots, especially off counters and stuff. Started off early, got him to slow down a bit and kind of change it and back up. Actually, Golovkin's never backed up in a fight before, and he actually got him to back up for this fight.
Wow.
So Steve has the one of these pros came from he's also from Russia, but I don't know what Jimmy trains at. He came down he sparred with Steve, and after the sparring session he came up to him and said, honestly, I came in here and I'm like, this guy's gonna get destroyed by Golovkin. And he's like, after sparring with you, I think you're gonna win, man.
What?
He said this to him.
Do you know who this was?
Huh? He's a pro boxer from Russia. I can't remember his name.
Come on, give us the information.
I can't remember his name, but he was saying he's like,
Has that guy sparred Golovkin before?
I don't think so. I think I remember I asked him. They said they don't think so. He's sparred like other like high level pros, but he was saying he's never been hit to the body that hard before. I'm telling you, I felt it. If he lands those body shots, they're no joke. They take wind out of you and they make you squeal a little bit.
All right, let's wrap up with this on this fight. If Steve wins, we obviously know it's gonna do wonders for his career. I think
Canada too, especially Canadian boxing.
I think he's gonna inspire some kids. I still think he'll have to fight at least one more fight before he gets a title shot, just because I don't think the money is gonna be there for that big of a fight. And Alvarez is gonna say,
"Bro, I don't think you understand Golovkin. Who Golovkin is in boxing?
No, I do.
Golovkin is the boogeyman.
Who is Canelo Alvarez too, bro?
Huh? No, exactly. But I mean, like, no one's been able to decisively beat Golovkin. If he were,
yeah, but will they see it as kind of Joshua Ruiz? A lot of people are saying like, Joshua let it go, not that Ruiz beat him that much. They're saying that Joshua looked weak.
I guess okay.
Right?
You know
that always becomes the narrative when there's a big upset.
This is exactly what I hate about
whether it's correct or not. That is always the narrative.
It's true.
Right?
And who knows? Maybe they do a rematch if Golovkin does lose.
Okay, so
but
he's gonna be well. But if he loses,
yep.
Where does Steve go from here? Is he now in this,
his
big name
exactly.
pro boxing circuit, or is he gonna fall back out and nobody's ever gonna fight him again?
His name is in the mix now, and that's literally what we've been wanting. His promoter is Lou DiBella, who's like probably one of the, aside from Al Heyman and Bob Arum, who's Pacquiao and Mayweather's promoters, he's probably one of the best promoters in the game. So now his name is in the mix. So this opens him up for numerous fights at middleweight. So win or lose, I feel like he's still set.
All right. Well, hey, Steve, if you're watching this, from both of us, good luck to you. We're cheering for you.
Sir.
Not just because you're a local boy, but because of what my buddy here just said. You're an outstanding person. Everything you do. He wants to open up a gym to train kids in the future. And he says he's going to do that if he wins this fight and gets this money. So, kudos to you and best of luck. I know Addis is going to be there. You're going to get us some footage. get us
I'll
something.
probably FaceTime you. If Steve wins, bro, I'm going through the roof. Bro.
FaceTime me
I'm
during
going
the fight. I just want to see
crazy.
that atmosphere, and we'll make a plan. And we're gonna try. No promises. But after the fight, we're win or lose, we're gonna try and get a little interview with Steve going.
Yeah.
It might be
At
over the
least
phone. Might be in the gym.
At least even my coach telling me how it.
Hey, Howard, this guy's huge, man. Trains
I'm
you.
telling you, the best coach in the world.
I want to know
People
how he
don't-
deals with you every morning, because I can't even deal with you for 2 hours doing a podcast.
Bro, everyone that's seen, they think he's my dad. Every time I'm seen with him, he has the exact same hair as me.
Yeah, but him and your dad don't look very alike.
Huh?
Him and your dad don't really
No,
look
because
alike.
he looks like me, Tommy.
I guess I like your dad. He's a cool guy.